Hi guys, GameTalk Ajax Utrecht, second round of the Dutch Cup, 5-4. What a crazy game that was, Eyejax.
It was.
You know, the thing is with Utrecht always is, especially when it comes to a cup, you know something is going to happen. It cannot be a boring game. It cannot be an easy or straightforward game because Ajax Utrecht is always Ajax Utrecht, you know? So I don't even know where to start. It was crazy. Within 1 minute, we conceded the goal.
Yeah.
So the immediate thought I had was like, oh no, here we go. You know, it was a roller coaster game, in my opinion. At the end, we pulled through. I think it was very important for us as well. Also during, looking at the situation with all the injuries that we have, the form, etc., the things with, like with Promes as well, which might have impact on the team. We will talk about that later. Take us to the game. What are your general thoughts about the game? Are you happy? Are you relieved? Let us know.
Of course, I'm relieved because we're still in the cup. But for the neutral viewer, it was a great game. But for like us Ajax fans, it was a tough one because there was a lot of frustration during the match and a lot of inconsistency during the play. So luckily we won. And a great goal by Tadic to decide it. And I'm very happy that we are going through to the next round. But still, it wasn't clean and it wasn't a good performance by Ajax. But still, the win is there, so we should be happy. Next round, a lot of goals. It was sloppy, a lot of mistakes also. And it's very hard for me to summarize it for you in a few words because it was so much things going on during the match.
Yeah.
In the end, happy with the progress, happy with the next round, but Blind was awful at times. Schuurs wasn't on his level today. Klaassen was invisible. So yeah, a lot to say.
I always said that maybe we should try Klaassen as a number 10. Actually, today he started as a number 10 because they started with Alvarez. Ten Hag started with Alvarez as a pivot together with Gravenberch. I thought actually of the pivot, I thought Alvarez did a better job than Gravenberch, especially off the ball, which Alvarez always does, in my opinion. Gravenberch was a bit sloppy, in my opinion. Klaassen was non-existent, as you said.
Yeah.
There were, let's say, there were a couple of players that didn't reach their level.
Actually, they were far below their level.
Yeah, you can say that as well. But look, the nice thing about this game is even though we were behind a couple of times. I mean, we were 1-0 down. We went into the second half with 2-1 lead. Then again, we concede a very quick goal within 3 minutes or something. It becomes 2-2. Then all of a sudden we're 3-4. I mean, I'm going forward a little bit. And then we just turn it around and win 5-4. I mean, we were already saying to each other, oh, this is going to be a late night because we might have an extra time, etc.
Because we have to record this and then 30 minutes extra and it's already a late game.
But also because, in the extra time, you never know what's going to happen. Or maybe when you go to penalties, never know what's going to happen,
Yeah.
And what you said, there were a couple of players that made some mistakes. Scherpe also, the fourth goal.
That was unfortunate because I was actually saying and discussing with you during the match that he played terrific, actually. Most of the goals were mistakes of the field players, So the keeper did actually quite a good job and then he made that mistake. So I had to grade him like a 5.
Yeah.
And I was still not too harsh on him because he's a youth player and he gets his minutes now in the first team. But it was sad to see that he made a mistake like this.
Yeah.
But the nicest thing was actually this guy Silla that scored and went to the camera like, with the whole team, and then they lose 5-4, then I can just only laugh, I was like, take it home with you.
Let's talk about Rensch, which had an opportunity today to play. He played on the right side this time.
Yeah.
He played on the right side, I'm sorry. What do you think of his performance today?
I think he did pretty well. He wasn't totally clean during the match. There were some little mistakes here and there. But I think for the minutes he made in the first team this season, he did a proper job. So let's just hope he builds on this and he gets some more minutes because I think the quality is definitely there. And now it's up to him to bring the level game after game. And for me, I will not be too harsh on Scherpe and Rensch because they are getting their minutes in now.
Yeah.
So I grade them a little bit differently than players that are already playing the whole season,
Yeah.
So for me, he did a proper job. And I think if he builds on this, that we could have a good player for the future.
Yeah. Look, I want to ask you something, right? We're moving to another player, and this player, we don't talk to him. We don't talk about him a lot. Sometimes we do, but just like, we put it, briefly, and we rub it under the carpet, basically. And the thing is with him is, today he showed to be instrumental, but if you look at his stats, also he's always instrumental for Ajax, and sometimes we underestimate him. Tadic.
Yeah, he's terrific, man. He's sometimes absent because, look, you know what the problem is with Tadic? He had such a terrific season when he came to Ajax, and with the Champions League season. He was amazing. He was actually in the running until the end to get some prizes also, some trophies.
European ones.
Yes. Yeah. So he was like, everything he did turned into gold. And if you compare it with that kind of level, it's very difficult to keep up that standard, because we have to be honest also, the team isn't up to the quality that it was in that season.
Yeah.
We do not have Frankie, we do not have De Ligt. And the season after that, Ziyech also left, Donny left. So a lot of quality went away from the standard that the team of Ajax had those 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And now it is difficult for him to shine and to take the team by the hand and just dominate. In the Eredivisie, sometimes you can do it, but in Europe, it's very difficult. And with the team's last seasons, you had more quality players throughout the team.
Yeah.
Who could also deliver. Ziyech could deliver. Donny could deliver. And in the season before that, Frankie could deliver. De Ligt could deliver. You had more players that could bring something. And it's easier for him also because not the whole load comes onto his shoulders,
Yeah.
And now it is more like this. He's one of he's our captain. He's the most experienced player. But now he has to have it from like Anthony, who has his moments, and makes a nice dribble and gives an assist or something. But actually, if you look at the team, how many decisive players do we have at the moment? Name a few for me, because
We don't have that many.
No.
I mean, I would argue that Anthony is in the mix. I would argue also that Tadic is in the mix. And that's it.
Maybe Gravenberg time from time, but not consistently.
Yeah, okay. I thought we were talking about whether you deliver assists or goals. So I was looking only at that. But no, you're right. I mean, compared to the previous years, it's different.
And this is the problem, because if you look at his stats, also last season when people were saying...
He was the leading one.
When people were saying, like, he's so bad and it's not the Tadic anymore and he's getting older... I do have massive respect for him. I think he's a great captain. The way he looks after his body...
he plays everything.
He plays everything. He's very, very professional, And I think he's a role model for everybody in the team. So he's one of my favorite players from last years for Ajax, and it will still be one of my favorite players. And I think we are being too harsh on him from time to time. Mm-hmm. And just look at his stats, and it says enough. Even this season, I think he scored a lot, and he gave a lot of assists today. 2 assists. One assist, 2 goals.
Yeah.
So he pulled it through for us today. He just he took the team by the hand at the end and he delivered us the win.
Okay.
So fair play.
Moving on to another player, which has been criticized a lot here, also by you and other panel members, Labyad. Today he started as a false 9. He contributed to 2 goals. He made 2 goals, which is important, of course. What do you think of his game or performance today?
Actually, up until the goal, I thought it was pretty poor because he was unlucky with his plays. So I was almost going to tweet about it, and then he scored this goal, and he actually,
the first one,
actually finished it quite nice with his left foot, and the second one he finished with his right.
The second goal was beautiful.
Yeah,
I think Rensch gave a ball from the right side.
I think.
Yeah, and it came to Tagliafico. Yeah, exactly.
So he actually did quite well after that. After the first goal, he really improved during the game, and I think for his standards and for the play that we saw from him last weeks, I think this was one of his better matches, especially the second half. So I also gave him a good grade today, a 7. And I'm not going to criticize him this match because he delivered. So this is what we should expect from him if he plays. Today he brought it, and I hope he can bring it more in the future. If Ten Hag keeps playing him, I'm not a fan of that. I'd rather see Martinez play that I discussed already in previous episodes here. And if he plays him, I hope he can deliver like this, because these kind of performances and these kind of goals and stuff, he has to make that as a false 9 or like a 10. He has to be decisive. And today, he was decisive. So fair play to him.
Cool. I just have 2 more questions about the game.
Yeah.
One more player I want to highlight, Alvarez, who started as a midfielder.
Yep.
We have discussed before that we don't think he's really a midfielder, but I mean, Ten Hag consistently has his own choices, and he puts Alvarez as a midfielder. How do you think he did today?
I think he was, for his standards and for what he delivered in the past, he was very good. He had some great last-ditch efforts. He supported the defense. He actually was the one who was in our box helping out the defense and helping out in difficult situations. Yeah, you can expect something like this from the pivots in front of the defense, with Gravenberch and with Alvarez today. Did you see Gravenberch a lot of times in our own box, helping out like Alvarez did? Sometimes Alvarez was positioning like a central defender,
deeper.
Very deep.
Yeah.
So and he actually was also present in the box of the opponent. He had a header, and he's trying to also make a goal with his presence in the air. So today, I think he was terrific. I gave him a 6. Maybe it was, I cannot give half a grade, but actually for me it was a 6.5. But a 7 was too much, I think, for his performance today. But I really thought he was solid today. And if he can deliver these kind of performances, I can see him being a utility player for our team.
Yeah. One more thing. We also usually criticize Ten Hag for not bringing something or changing something. I think this is one of the rare occasions in which he brought Ekkelenkamp, which had a huge impact in the game in the final 20 minutes, I think, 25 minutes. Did you see it that way as well?
He didn't have that many flavors left on the bench.
You're not going to give him a compliment, right?
No. It's not all bad with Ten Hag. I think he did okay today. I do think that he waited a little bit long with bringing some substitutes, because I think Ekkelenkamp was in almost the 70th minute.
Something like that, I think.
So actually with the score like it was, I think he could have substituted a little bit earlier, especially with 5 substitute possibilities.
But he took the case I'm arguing is he took a chance, right? Because he put Ekkelenkamp in, he took Alvarez out, and he put Klaassen back with Gravenberch as a pivot. So Ekkelenkamp went to play as a 10, and he was very active as a number 10. More active than we've seen Klaassen play today.
I agree, but I'd rather discuss with you how Ekkelenkamp performed than bring back the whole Erik ten Hag discussion again. Because
no,
it's
exactly.
like I'm like repeating myself every video.
That's fine. That's fine.
So some fundamental decisions of him each time he starts a match, I do not agree with it.
Okay.
Like every time placing Martinez on the bench and not giving him minutes, that is already a point down for me.
Yeah.
Every time starting with Labyad, even though he was pretty okay today,
he scored 2 goals.
We have to give him. It's not like it's Labyad's fault.
No.
The performances of him last weeks were just very poor.
But today he didn't have a lot of flavors. Let's be honest. I mean, who would you have put as a number 9?
No, maybe Ekkelenkamp. Maybe you could give Ekkelenkamp a chance to play as a 10 and Tadic as a false 9. I already discussed these options last video, so I'm like repeating myself.
No, well, we discussed the midfield. We never discussed number 9 because we had plenty of strikers.
Okay, but let's be honest. What did Labyad do to deserve a starting place today? Did he perform well last week?
Prior to today, I understand.
So why? I cannot blame Ten Hag because it went well. We got the win. But how come a player that plays occasionally like Martinez and does well every position he plays in gets benched every time? And how can Labyad, who is so poor last months, last weeks, start again today? This is something that is
the only thing I would
wrong.
say is they play different positions.
Yeah. So, but some people will disagree with me on this, but I just don't understand it. I do not understand why you have. Yeah, but we're talking about Ten Hag again. Let's talk about Ekkelenkamp. Let's keep it positive.
Yeah, exactly.
Ekkelenkamp today, he was great. You saw him penetrating the box. He was active. He was playing combination football. That's what I would like to see from a number 10, from somebody in that position of the field.
How beautiful was that pass to Labyad, the second goal?
It was great. It was really
That
great.
was a smart move.
It was a smart move. He has potential. I said it already in the earlier season.
Yeah, you said that
He
before.
really has potential. He was unlucky also with his performances early this season, but he did not get that many chances that Labyad gets from Ten Hag.
Yeah.
So
Also one of your points.
You cannot criticize him for being not consistent because he cannot deliver it on a longer period, like measurement here and then 2 weeks later you measure him again and you measure him again, like you can do with Labyad for a longer period.
Mm-hmm.
So today, and actually also the last time he came into the pitch, he delivered and he changed the play a little bit positively, positive change. So for me, I think there's still a lot to come from Ekkelenkamp, but he just have to get a little bit of more confidence, a little bit more minutes. So I'm going to praise Ten Hag for bringing Ekkelenkamp. Let's say it like this.
That's wonderful. Okay, so one final question from me about the game. The defense. I mean, yes, we won 5-4. We shouldn't be too, being a little bit sour about it, but we still conceded 4 goals. It's a lot. Does it have to do with tactics? Does it have to do with our back line? Why do we look so vulnerable? Because you saw it also already in the first half, but then we concede goals so easily. I mean, you can talk. Maybe it was one of those games. You can argue that. In my opinion, it seems like we're really vulnerable, and we know from this week that we also drew Lille in the Europa
Fast
League.
Players.
Which are similar, I mean, today they played everything through Kerk, who was a very fast player. Lille has 3 fast players, basically, and they're a better team.
Let's just hope that their finishing is as poor as last season, because they had a lot of chances in our matchup.
But on a serious note, Eyejax, on a serious note, how worrying is this becoming now?
I'm like a broken record. I'm just keep repeating myself week after week for months now.
So it's the players?
There's fundamentally something wrong with our duo in the back. It's not Blind's fault or Schuur's fault. They are too similar.
Okay.
So we have to have balance. Like when Timber played, for example, with Martinez next to him or with Blind next to him, there's a slower player that can make passes, and you have a faster player that has other qualities.
It seems to me that it's a trade-off, right? I mean, today I saw Schuurs also giving a magnificent long pass to Anthony from the back. So we have 2 players that can do basically almost the same.
Let me just state it like this. I do see a lot more potential in Schuurs than I do in Blind. So I'm saying they are similar.
But they're at different stages in their career, right?
Yeah, but Schuurs has qualities to be more like a pure defender. His problem is only he cannot turn fast, So he can run fast in a straight line, but he is not that agile to quickly turn to sprint with the player who's attacking at the goal.
Yeah.
That is the problem. But Blind, I like the guy, and it's one of my favorite players last year, but I'm sorry to say this, the best is behind him, I think. The way he's been playing last weeks, and I'm seeing it more and more. Even today, he's making mistakes with his passing game. Because we're blaming Scherpe for like the 4th goal.
Yeah.
But did you see that little pass back to the keeper from Blind?
Yeah.
And did you see who saved him there? Because the defender saved it off the line. But Scherpe made himself like really huge, so that the player cannot finish it.
Yeah, we saw that.
But these kind of passes, you did not see that from Blind like previous season or in the beginning of the season. So even his passing game sometimes is not flawless anymore. And let's be honest, his pure defending, it has not been that great. He's not fast. He doesn't have physical,
presence.
Physical presence. He's not strong. He cannot jump high. He's not a good header. So he has to have his play is like positioning well and being the build-up player to distribute the ball up front.
Yeah.
To the midfielders and
which
attackers.
He does really good at times.
But is that enough? For
that's the question. That's the question.
For me,
because that's what I'm saying. That's the trade-off.
Yeah,
you have that, but then you know that you're defensively you're weak. You're vulnerable. So that's also something I cannot imagine Ten Hag not seeing that.
But we also have to take into account there are a lot of injuries, and we are in the middle of the season. Yeah. So now we can see what Ajax are going to do. Are they going to buy somebody in the winter break? In the transfer period, because for me, the the fundamental, the place within the squad, let me say it like this, that is the most vulnerable is our defense, is our back line.
Yeah.
And we do not have like a lot of other players that can play there. So
We have Martinez.
yeah, for me, definitely, let's play him there. But he doesn't see it like that because he always plays him on the bench. So for me, the question is, does he see potential in Martinez? Because I can see it clearly when he plays, but I think Ten Hag does not see it at all. He just sees a totally different game and a totally different player.
Yeah.
So I'm just baffled and I do not know what to say about it anymore. But it's very frustrating for me.
All right. We don't want to be frustrated. We won 5-4.
Yeah.
So we're moving to the next round, which is very important.
Yes.
We remain in the competition. I don't actually know when the draw will be, but we'll see. In this crowded, schedule, let's be happy that we're still in it.
Exactly.
We have 2 more games to go
Yeah.
in the Eredivisie. Let's get those 3 points on both games and finish on a high before we go to the winter break. Thanks again for coming, for sharing your opinion.
You're welcome.
All right, and we'll see you next time. Hey there, thanks for watching. A thumbs up if you enjoyed that video. Subscribe so we can bring you more awesome content. Do it.